Welcome to Job Tips, the career development channel. In this video, how to address the interview question, do you see yourself in a leadership role? And if so, how do you plan to prepare yourself for it? That is coming up. Okay, so the interview is coming along just fine. You've been answering all the questions swimmingly well. It's become a conversational kind of interview. They're showing great interest. You've met all the qualification requirements. The job duties and responsibilities fit you like a glove. You think personality-wise, you've got this. And then they ask you a question, assuming this is not a leadership role job. They ask you the question, do you see yourself in a leadership role? And if so, how will you prepare for that role? This is kind of one of those career path questions, right? We're bringing you into a certain job today, but you may move into another role in a leadership role tomorrow. Not literally, obviously, but down the road. Well, you have to prepare yourself for that role. You don't just go from doing what you're doing today to suddenly being a leader tomorrow. And leadership takes some development. So you may not find yourself ever in a leadership role. You may prefer to just be a follower, which is completely fine. Not everyone is cut out for leadership or for management. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you're not that kind of person, and if you know that instinctively, one way you can answer it without necessarily shooting yourself in the foot, because they may be looking for someone who one day wants to be in a leadership role, is, well, thus far in my career, I've not been in leadership roles. And so far, I've been pretty content to do what I've done in my career. I've gotten great fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction. And while that's the case, I'm certainly open to developing into a leader as the company sees fit. Now, that doesn't say that you have no interest in becoming a leader. Maybe you have no interest in becoming a leader. But leave yourself open, because you could change up here one day in terms of wanting to be in a leadership role. So be careful with this response if right now you have no interest in it. Leave it open. So then in preparation for that, your answer then continues. So then to prepare for that opportunity that may arise one day, I would like to see myself becoming more involved in team projects, becoming a team lead, perhaps, being tested and groomed along the way. And I also plan to make it part of my development to read and study and learn about great leaders, corporate leaders, general leadership principles overall. So there's a kind of response that would help you, I think, if you have not had the interest in it. Now, it's similar if you do want to be in a leadership role, and this is not that job. This job is not a leadership job, but you want to get there one day as far as a leadership role. So now the response may be very similar to what I just gave you, that, I'm very interested in leadership opportunities. I've made it a practice to study great leaders, to study leadership principles. In fact, a few books that I have read and studied about leadership are, and list those books, okay? Assuming you've read books on leadership. If that's the case, mention those books. Throw out some names. Name drop, okay? And so along the way, in this current role that I'm applying for, I absolutely expect to be preparing myself for those kinds of opportunities should they arise. So when those opportunities do come, I'm ripe and ready for that job. And oh, by the way, additionally, I want to volunteer for team lead and team roles where I can further develop my leadership capabilities. And in this regard, isn't that the kind of employee that you want? One who wants to continue growing and developing along the way? Do you see what I just did here? You not only shared that, yes, you're willing to grow into leadership roles, you gave them a path on how you would develop into that role, and then you kind of came back and sort of closed the sale with, and isn't that the kind of employee that you're looking for? Powerful stuff. Well, that's it for this tip. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please share in the comments down below what kind of leadership roles you have developed into in your career. I also welcome suggestions of other videos you'd like to see in this channel. Additionally, I'd be so honored if you would subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Well, for job tips, I hope you get that job and you have that dynamic career that you want to have.